Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Thrift Store Prepper. And what we have today is exciting and enthralling episode is a $15 haul. And before we go into the unbagging and see what we have in this haul, let's do a little explanation into what's going on and a little bit of reasoning to my mindset at the moment at the start of this video. I've had a little bit of a brutal week at work. I do work as a cook stroke chef, and I happen to work in a sports bar in Toronto, and anyone who lives in North America will know that it's playoff time. That's right, the NBA and the NHL are both in the playoff stage of the season, and Toronto has interest in both of them. They have the Toronto Raptors in the basketball and the good old Maple Leafs in the hockey. And this started last Thursday, I believe, and we had a Toronto game. And every day of my schedule, which is usually Thursday through to Monday, I've had to deal with the playoffs, and as a result of that, I'm a little bit beat up, a little bit fatigued, and somewhat punch drunk. As I said, we had a Saturday night. We had the Holy Trinity that the Leafs, the Jays, and the Raptors were all playing, as well as TFC. And my bar was hosting all four viewing parties for all four games, and it was standing room only, and I was ran ragged all night. So I'm a little bit punch drunk and kind of having a constant brain fart and find it very hard to think and motivate myself. And I think it's a case of being a little bit overtired and maybe a little fatigued. I got home from work last night, which was the end of my work week. I have the next couple of days off, and usually I have a little bit of enthusiasm for what is my weekend. And a little bit of that enthusiasm goes towards the Thrift Store Prepper and ideas and content for the videos I have planned to make. And I say we do make this up as I go along, which to a degree is true and very evident in this particular video. Now, as I say, I get home from work, I have my weekend ahead, so I put a little thought usually into what I'm going to be doing the next day for my Thrift Store Prepper project. And, I usually tend to get myself to the store, pick up the items and things I need, and then come back and make the videos that so many of you are beginning to enjoy. And I say so many, I have had a few more subscribers since we hit the 50 mark, and we're currently up to 63, and we're getting some kind comments from these new subscribers. So anyone who is new to the channel, thanks for subscribing, thanks for watching, and continue to do so. So today it was very difficult for me to get motivated, and to be honest with you, I didn't really want to get out of bed, and when I kind of reluctantly decided, you know what, I'm just going to stay in bed, I found myself getting very, very restless and having to get up and down every now and then to position cushions and such forth, and it was just a restless day. And then when I decided to get up, I couldn't really decide what I wanted to do, so eventually I forced myself to jump in the shower, wake myself up, get out, go to the Dollarama, go and run a couple of errands that I needed to do, because I did need to get myself some important essentials like coffee and soap and some toothpaste and other personal items. So I figured maybe when I'm at the Dollarama at the No Frills, I might get a little bit motivation or some inspiration to make something, and I kind of didn't. So what I did is I grabbed a random bunch of stuff alongside with my personal items, and I spent about $15 on things that are in this bag. Now it is a pretty heavy bag. I'm not going to drop it on the countertop in case we have any damages or spillages or breaking or anything, but it's quite bulky. There's quite a lot of stuff in there. And the stuff that I kind of got in here is mainly to do some recipe videos, rather than be putting into my pantry for emergency supplies. But there are a couple of things that will be going into the pantry, but the majority of the things in here are kind of what I'm going to be making some recipes over the next evening and probably tomorrow, and partly because I'm going to do that is because it's what I'm going to be eating for the next couple of days. So let's take the bag off the table and have a look at inside, and even as I started filming, I still have very little direction as to where this video may or may not go. So bear with me. I don't really know myself at the moment, so excuse the I can't even think of the words. But let's get on to the first item. So this was something I got at the dollar store, and these were actually $1, and they're white Lebanese pita bread. And there's 5 pieces in there, and not very shelf stable. I don't think. You should probably eat them quite quickly. I'm trying to see if there is a expiry date on here, or best before date. Is that it? No, I don't know, but there's probably one on there somewhere if we look hard enough. But they were $1, and as I said, I don't really have much of an idea where I was going, so I just bought $15 worth of somewhat random items, and sometimes things that we have seen before. So most of this stuff come from both the Dollarama and the No Frills, because I did have to go into both stores, as I tend to do, as they are next door to each other. And some of these items you will have seen before. So there's a fancy ramen noodle, and I've also got another 5 regular ramen noodle, and part of the reason is this costs $1 and this costs $1, and here we have 5 individual ramen as opposed to 1 fancy ramen in a couple of seasons. If you've seen the recipes I've done using this particular ramen noodle, you see all you really get for your $1 is a couple of extra seasoning sachets and the bowl to eat out of. But again, you know, the bowl is handy and it gives us something that we can eat our meals out of. So Gibson girl, this is for you. A can of soup. You said you'd like to see a can of soup, so I picked up a can of Primo Hearty chicken from the Dollarama, and they also had a roasted chicken noodle soup, which didn't have the same amount of nutrients on the cans, so it actually had a couple of zeros. So I picked this one up, and that's kind of in the realms of the Sensi prepping. You know, we're looking at items that are going to have a lot of nutrients and at least provide us with some of our daily requirements. And what we say is we want to be looking at more numbers than zeros on the side of the can. So as you can see, pretty much everything has a number except for the trans fat, which is a 0, and that's the one thing we do want a 0 on. Trans fats are not necessarily good for you, but in an emergency, the fat and the extra calories could help. But there you go, we've got a can of Primo Hearty soup for $1.50. You know, if you picked up 10 cans of those, that's $15, and that certainly would give you a good little supply of emergency soup. This covering, you know, you got your carb in there with the pasta, you got your protein, you got some veggies, and obviously it's in a broth. So another couple of cans that I did pick up were lentils. Now these are another fantastic source of protein and another Sensi item. Although we're not getting any vitamin A, we are getting some vitamin C, some calcium, a lot of iron and protein in this, and fiber. So this is 87 cents, less than $1, and a great thing to have. And you know, you could add some lentils to your chicken noodle soup if you had a you know, wanted to add some depth to that meal and a little bit more nutritional value to it. That's a good thing to do. And the other thing that was also 87 cents was some mixed beans in Suraj or Surat. I'm not sure how you say that. This is I guess a halal brand, or they seem to make Middle Eastern type of food. So you know, we've got some lentils and beans there that we've already got some mixed beans in the pantry, so that's nothing new that you're not seeing. And again, I picked up another couple of these little Mexican salsa, and in this case I picked up some Sorry, I'm throwing things. See, I don't even have the ability to use my hands, so the fact that I am making a video right now is quite remarkable, because as I said, I'm in a perpetual state of brain fart and really just want to crawl back into bed and wake up. It's also a miserable grey and wet day outside, although it is above zero, which is always a plus in Canada at this time of year. It's still not springtime, and we have been teased a little bit with some warmer days, which make the colder, grayer days that much harder to swallow. But anyway, we got this little green pickled sliced jalapenos, and this also comes with some carrot and some onions. So this is something that, you know, again, we're kind of throwing in my pantry as condiments or ingredients. So these will be things we are going to be using in our recipes in the coming videos to watch. What else do I have? I picked up one of these little Indian snacks again. These are 97 cents and kind of a little bit of a trail mix substitute. And again, you do get quite a lot in here, as well as a hell of a lot of fat, but it's a calorie thing. So, you know, kind of with the lentils, the beans, and the pitas or naan breads, we've got a little bit of a Eastern theme going on there. And what else we got? Some chicharrones. I do like my chicharrones, and they were all out of the manwangs, which I usually tend to get. So I got these ones from for a different. I think these might be a little bit spicy. I don't know. They have some chilies on the top and what looks like some lemongrass. So we'll see how they are. And these again are something they're going to provide us a little bit of protein, a little bit of fat, and you know, actually some vitamin A as well. So it does have a bit of sodium in it, but again, you know, calories kind of sometimes count, and it is a form of protein and something we can utilize in our meal. And as they are pork, that's going to make these less halal in our Mediterranean theme. But never mind, you know, we're not of any religious faction at the Thrift Store Prepper, and it's about staying alive in making thrifty meals the best you can, and sometimes semi-healthy meals, sometimes meals that are just meant to fill us up. So the last thing I got at the Dollarama is what is gonna actually be going in my pantry. I spent $5 and I got 4 cans of these little chicken, kind of like the tuna can type size. And you know, chicken is something I don't actually have in my pantry, so why not? And as I am running out of space, that's kind of why I didn't really do a pantry unbagging or a pantry build unbagging until I figure something out, whether I'm going to get a second unit or try and find something on the street or the thrift store, and see if we can continue to build. But until I do that, we're going to try and fill up what space I've got and maybe take a few items out that we don't really need or may be a little bit unnecessary. So that is something maybe to look forward to in a further video, a modification. Exciting stuff. So basically, this come in at around 15 bucks. That was $5, $7, $8, $9, $10, $12, $13.50. It's actually about $17, to be quite honest with you. So I'm lying when I say it's a $15 haul, but I'm probably gonna title this video $15 or feed yourself for $15. I don't know, I can't even think of a title now. I'm just gonna maybe even call it random unbagging. But most of these items are going to be used in recipes in the coming day that I'm going to be uploading shortly, and possibly making as soon as I have finished with this video. So it's not an exciting video at all, and as I said, it is a little bit random, and it was kind of partly because I forced myself to get out and do something rather than waste a day off in bed, and hopefully, you know, maybe it'll give me a sense of achievement. It might give me a little bit of inspiration to continue to make some videos or come up with some ideas. But all in all, you know, that's $15. If you were, you know, somebody like myself who is on a tight income and working full time and living in a small rented accommodation, you know, this $15, you know, is certainly going to give you quite a bit of food to last you possibly a week, you know. And certainly if you had a little pantry going of your own, you had a couple of things that you could top up, like some oatmeals for breakfast perhaps, then you know, you certainly could make yourself enough meals out of this to probably feed yourself for a week. Now, none of these meals are going to be anything you're going to be wanting invite your friends or family over to share, and it is a case of just having to eat and put something in your belly. And you know, people, students, and as well as people who are on a low income have got to eat as much as everybody. And you know, we're going to highlight in the video some ways to get some nutrients as well as the calories into you, and ways to fill you up. So you know, this, for $15 you could potentially eat for a week. Let me know if you could or couldn't. I don't know. As I say, this is a video that I'm kind of struggling with a little bit, so I should probably end it there. We have managed to go on for just over 15 minutes, so before I continue to ramble on about absolutely nothing, we'll call it a day. Thanks for watching. You know the drill. This has been a shit video production for the Thrift Store Prepper, and hopefully we'll catch you next time. If not, that's cool. Take it easy, and we'll see you soon.